Good evening, everyone. Daniel Miller here. How are you guys doing? Hope you guys are well. Hope you had a good day. Hope your Saturday was as good as mine. Hope you played some of your favorite games already. Perhaps you went out for a stroll. Maybe you've done your shopping. Maybe you were just preparing yourselves for a night out, and therefore you're just about getting ready. Hope you had a wonderful time so far. I certainly did. I had a very good dinner. I had a very energizing swimming session earlier today, and I didn't have any broadcasts. In fact, I have been taking some rest from very intense broadcasting, which is what I've been doing in the last few weeks. I always find it refreshing and rewarding to clear my head, to get my bearings back on, and just generally to enjoy what I do. Sometimes lengthy streams and lengthy broadcasting can be overbearing and very tiring, and therefore one can be simply losing sight of certain goodies which one is obviously providing and doing, and that does happen from time to time. I think my general preference is for the streams which last about 5 hours. The only trouble, with broadcasting is that if you are fairly new to Twitch and your channel had not been picked up by some of the major algorithms, you have to be investing more than 7 hours per day in order for your presence to be detected. And there are lots of ins and outs of broadcasting which I will not bore you with, but I prefer everything broadcasting wise to be done in a leisurely fashion where we can just really enjoy the activity, get really very good communication flowing, and generally have a good time, really, because that's the bottom line, isn't it? So very encouraged and very happy with our session yesterday. We had a wonderful community activity here for almost 2 hours. In fact, we had no gameplay at all. We just literally talked about lots of different games and many things which my community members were raising. That was very good and very rewarding, so I really like seeing that. I really look forward to seeing some of that again. We've had many great community moments here on my channel. Most of them are linked to Destiny, but also we had some related to Anthem, the game that's just come out. But unfortunately, it is really receiving very lukewarm reviews, and it's plagued by many technical glitches. In fact, it is in so much of a bother that the executive of BioWare, who's responsible for live operations, went on air again saying that Anthem is a living entity, an evolving world, and he asked all the fans and BioWare dedicated all the issues, and I think we are going to bear with them, because I'm not going to be streaming Anthem before all of them are resolved. You do know that watching streams which are plagued by technical difficulties is a nightmare, and it is very off-putting, which means some of the streamers, some of the viewers may decide not to come back to the channel again. And I tested the game quite extensively for 2 weeks in a row a few weeks ago, and I could tell what the glitches were. BioWare said that all of those glitches were to be resolved by the time the game went out, but actually they did not go away, and there were some problems which are stream specific, particularly that rubber banding where the character was glued to a certain area. In fact, they confirmed with me that they were related to some of the software which is used for streaming. So I'll just wait for that to be resolved, and then we'll have Anthem literally like what we have Destiny. We'll have a lengthy exploration of the Anthem universe. We'll go through the free play, we'll go through strongholds, we do everything. But I don't want our viewers and community members to be unsettled by constant crashes and also by the need to be reloading the game. So if you are a gamer obviously on your own and you're not streaming, you're not in a broadcast, you could do this with ease, but it becomes repetitive and it becomes annoying. If I do it 20 times, it really becomes a concern. If you're a broadcaster, you can't be restarting a game several times, because every time you have to restart the game, your broadcast will end, and that is just definitely unsavory. I know for myself, when I watch other streamers, I like everything to be very much community based. I like it to be technical problems free. And most frequently I prefer not really brand new games, but the games which I know very well, the games I'm familiar with, and therefore it becomes not like an exercise which is full of spoilers, but definitely a gaming activity which is pleasant, interactive, based on the community interactions, and first and foremost very, very enjoyable. So that is really the idea. I've seen some interesting news today combining, well, announcing that there's going to be some merger of Terra and PUBG, and as you know, there has been already some activity on Resident Evil 2 stroke PUBG merger, so I really look forward to seeing all of those developments. Lots of news coming from BioWare. They have been overwhelmed by positivity and great support that we're receiving from the fans and followers. Many people expressing some concern about the technical issues, but obviously you invested $80 or £80 in the top tier edition. You are going to be patient, you are going to be doing things bit by bit. And in fact, for my liking, I like playing RPGs in sections. I don't like being immersed for 10-15 hours, The beauty of certain games which you play for quite a few hours, such as Battle Royale or some of the shooter games, is that they do not have the same degree of intensity, which is story based, and therefore you can endure, and indeed you have the adrenaline from fighting certain missions and doing them repetitively, like Battle Royale, which currently is actually the most popular type of activity on the internet, with Fortnite and with Overwatch, Warmind, and PUBG, and what's the other one? Apex Legends, which we're obviously promoting here. You get a lot of people coming in and playing against other teams, so it's like a proper multiplayer, real time. But I did have a problem with the hit ratio and with hit registration, and several of my teammates also observed the same. It varied tremendously from game to game. In some games you were engaging the targets and they were down straight away. In others you simply couldn't down them, and in the third lot we were being killed instantly with 1 or 2 bullets, and we could really tell the difference in server speed. Obviously we have no control over when and where people come in, and also what server they're using, but my feeling is that they were on very, very fast servers, which in fact were much greater in terms of the speed than ours, and therefore that delay was causing problems. You will know from some of the FPS games that when you are shooting at the mobile targets, and if for instance you are doing it online, you can see that you're hitting the target several times, the target is not responding, and suddenly they vanish. Well, that is obviously the indication of some sort of server-based speed problems, and in Apex we have quite a lot of that. The best teams, the tactical teams, are winning, but I must say I did see some of them really shooting at me, because I've been down to the last 2 many, many times, and I was dead instantly. 1 shot, 1 kill. I had purple helmet, I had purple chest armor and purple shield. They didn't attack me from very close range, they didn't have the best weapons. Why is it that I was dead instantly? Well, there must be a reason somewhere, and a bit like with the other games, we have to wait a bit and see what other updates they're going to be introducing, and I don't want to be playing and continuing with very many random matches when in fact they end up really with a lot of frustration, be it because the randomly selected gamers are completely new to the game, or they do not want to be a team player, therefore they're endangering me at all times, or when I'm being forced to be rescuing them when in fact they're doing something which is suicidal right from the word go, knowing that 10 teams are going to be waiting there for them, etc. To the point where in fact we're doing really well with tactical teams, with our permanent crews on board, and then losing games because of that server lag or server speed difference, whatever. So that becomes then intensely frustrating, because with a steady crew, you could say a clan or a permanent team, you are really looking at getting certain kinds of results. Becomes, not maybe intensely, but it becomes competitive to a degree, and obviously the team members may well have different expectations to myself. As you know, I'm not really on the channel focused on competitive gaming, but if you're entering a competitive arena, you'll have to be succumbing to some of the pressures which are obviously coming from there. In fact, Apex together with PUBG are very, very competitive gaming arenas. I've come across many people who are chasing scores, looking for many experience points. Some people perhaps are more focused on the number of kills than the actual survival rate, and in fact it works always in reverse for them. But this is obviously the gamers, this is the people out there people who are engaged with Battle Royale, and obviously displaying certain kind of gamer behavior. They have their ideas on what they want to achieve and how that needs to be completed. So a lot of challenge, obviously, for anybody coming in. For myself, it's been probably the greatest challenge I've ever had, doing promotion for Apex for 2 weeks and then selecting maybe 400 or 500 different teams, which transpired after the random players were brought in by the game algorithm. And that has been a tremendously difficult and a mixed bag overall. Initially, during the first week, we had some really good teams coming in, and they were, although randomly selected, usually teams of 2, taking board an extra player from the game selection. Those teams generally worked better, and they were more consistent, and they had some strategies. And then, certainly during the last week, and maybe during the last 4 to 5 days, that just vanished, kind of went into thin air, and I was given lots of people who were doing lots of silly things and absolutely resisting any form of team effort. So I really have a problem with that, because if I didn't want to be playing RPG, then I would not go and play Elder Scrolls, because evidently this is like a top RPG game that there is. Coming into a team effort game, which is your battle royale in team of 3, and wanting to do a cappella is just a non-starter for anyone, because A, it will make that person get killed instantly, so they will not have their survival rate in there for longer than 1 minute. It may be even 30 seconds, maybe sometimes even 10 seconds. Secondly, they are endangering the life of the team. The task is preservation of the team, all 3 members, until the end, and their survival rate. And thirdly, they're jeopardizing the entire mission. So, really not something that I would want to see. And I would just hope that people, when they see certain games, will read some instructions or find out what these games were about. So, similar to what I've seen with some of the reviewers of Anthem, people complaining that the game doesn't have enough content and that perhaps it's a bit slim on the combat, section, and complaining that it couldn't get across many of those events that the game has. Well, if you were doing the wrong thing, coming in as a solo player into multiplayer, which has been designed for 4 people to be fighting those wars, well, obviously you're not going to be accessing the same sort of content. And you've also been advised, if you're doing everything solo, the entire game is going to be different for you. It's going to be a lot simpler, a lot more linear, a lot less enjoyable, and you're unlikely to be meeting the enemies, which will have to be fought by the teams of 4. The answer is simple: you're just one person. If they jump you, you won't be able to survive there a split second, so therefore you couldn't progress with the game. So evidently the enemies are adjusted, the quantity of activity is also tailored to that sort of participation, and therefore I think it is a bit futile. So, if you are going to be reviewing the game, which is a 4-man multiplayer in 4 separate specialist suits, then please do it together with other 3 characters and have a good picture on, what's actually going on out there. I'm a bit dispirited by the reviews I've seen so far on Anthem. They've been overly negative, and either their sponsorship and support for BioWare, they made them kind of lukewarm, and the thumbs up points were all kind of the usual, which you use in that sort of scenario. But actually, the content of those reviews was focused on everything that's supposed to be very novel for BioWare, and it was just generally very negative. So it was thumbs down, particularly when it came to the area of combat, and also when it came to the RPG element, i.e. the story. The major video magazines were not positive, and they said many things which I did not want to see. It is for us to discover at a later date, once the game is sorted on the technical front, whether that's correct or not. But principally, I think it is biased, and for whatever reason, it seems to me that the game already had been pegged for the next big bomb, the game that isn't going to sell very well, which is basically doing everything wrong. And I did pick up, that sort of aura already after Anthem was announced for the first time during the E3 presentations, and people were immediately questioning the elements of Destiny, such as fighting a big intergalactic war in open world, and then secondly the idea of 4 Javelin suits, because we've seen some flying characters elsewhere from Marvel superheroes to Titanfall, and they said, well, this is going to be just a complete waste of time. It doesn't look appealing, we don't really want to fly them, it's not really attractive, and this and the other. So it seems to me that some of the negativity was preconceived, has been built over a period of time, and indeed, in my view, it is unjustified. I will be committing myself to many hours of Anthem, and I'm certain many of our Destiny veterans will do the same. We had Captain Jack coming in yesterday, and he said that he was absolutely delighted to have engaged with Anthem after grinding Destiny for, well, quite a few months, ever since Destiny 2 Forsaken came out, I think in September or so, and there'd been, 4-6 months of a long Destiny 2 Forsaken grind, and he found Anthem very enjoyable. He didn't do it by himself, which was obviously the very best way to engage with Anthem. So we are going to be having the same experience in here, but as I said earlier, we are going to be waiting for the technical issues to be over and done with, and therefore our gameplay can be then as smooth as possible without any form of interference and trouble. Right, so tonight we are going to be having another short stream of Destiny 1 that is. We are going to be playing Titan Human Male. The character is played by DRBMiller, in other words myself. As you know, we had already commenced with the Taken War missions. We've done about half dozen yesterday, and tonight we are going to be continuing with those adventures. Hope you guys enjoyed all the firefights yesterday. Certainly very exciting and very rewarding for myself. The last mission was quite difficult, and I did have a bit of a problem in finalizing on it, and I was a bit sort of pushed for time as well. I had to be invisible, sneak behind those beasts who could not see me but were obviously able to smell me. I didn't know quite well whether I should just sneak in from behind and do something, or whether I could literally race, and eventually I found a way around to that, so that worked. But then I did encounter some other enemies that were quite hard to kill, and everything was a bit prolonged, but a very, very enjoyable mission. And also I was very happy to have finished it all by myself, because on previous occasions with my Warlock and Hunter I did have a teammate, and therefore we were doing that in a constructive co-op. Coming back to our missions, Regicide is the next mission, but before we do Regicide we do need to go to our beloved planet Earth, and well as to why. Before entering battles we need bounties. Bounties give us extra rewards. Bounties make sure that we are being then given something, some little bit of extra for all of our time and effort spent in those battles, usually in form of strange coin, armor materials, mode of flight, and many reputation points. Coming back to the new message, which you can see on the bottom of my screen, or bottom of your screen in fact. Support my channel and its games fund by donating. Well, this is a new thing. I was running a small, relatively short Anthem broadcast, support Anthem broadcast donor campaign, which was successful. We raised some funds. The funds are invested into Anthem broadcasts, which are to resume in the near future. And I thought, well, setting up a small games fund will be equally of interest. We have dedicated gaming veterans coming to this channel, and for those who are particularly interested in seeing perhaps a golden oldie or another game which we are eagerly anticipating, the new games which can be pre-ordered, well, this is going to be the way to enable both those games to become present here on the channel and the broadcasting of the same. And people can contribute anything from 1 pence to 10 pence, 20 pence, 30 pence, any amount will do. All of us Twitch online broadcasters are only, or indeed Twitch. As you know, presently I do not have partnership with one of those firms. This is a new channel. I am building on the number of followers and indeed working on the quality content. I'm certainly hoping that one of those entities will be interested in partnering up. We had very many interesting sessions here with our community members, so a lot to look forward to, but up to that point I'm very much dependent on all of the support and contributions coming from our community members. And I have to stress that considering this channel has been in operation for less than 6 months, I think 4.5 months in total, the actual number of operational dates, I'm very happy to say that there have been several investors in the channel, people who contributed financially, and those who were also donating in order to support, well, Anthem campaign, and people who supported this channel through the use of voluntary donations, as well as the use of bits and cheers. As you know, bits and cheers are these emotes which you post here through chat when you're watching any activity, and they have to be bought through Twitch, so any form of purchase is then shared between Twitch, the specific broadcaster where the emotes are being used, and also the rest of the online streaming community. So it goes 3 ways. So anybody interested in supporting our online entrepreneur community, you certainly can use some of the bits and cheers and apply them accordingly. They're always appreciated, they always provide a particular kind of emotion which is in sync with whatever activity you're watching on any of our channels. So we'll quickly have a look. You can see that we need to speak to Master Rahul, so we must be having an engram or two.
Good. Important to keep busy at times like this.
Absolutely, sire. I brought some interesting engrams for you to decode. Please have a look and proceed.
Wield it wisely.
So, the rank with my faction has increased. Guardian, I appreciate the chance to study your findings. I hope you're not too disappointed with some of the results. Accept rewards. Indeed, we got Strange Coin, Motor Flight, and Encrypted Engram as well. Okay. So, we will need to be... well, I guess decrypting engrams. What else? Crown Prince Rocket Launcher 385. We have a couple of those in here.
Perhaps a rare relic of the Golden Age.
Chest armor. Let's see how good these are. 385, 385. Well, they're absolutely no good to me at the moment. I need those which are exotic, and then more than 391. So these ones are not enabled. The question is why not? In fact, they should be. Helium filaments. Glass needles. Glass needles. We need to collect. Okay.
Be careful.
So that has been completed. And now we are going to go and ask for some bounties from our bounty tracker.
All Guardians, please prioritize the Oryx situation.
Arc ability skills will take, special weapon skills, Cabal defeated, and Mages and Ultras defeated. So all of those have been taken. Goodbye, my friend. I shall see you after another hard battle. Fear God, honor the King. Regicide is our next mission. And look at those beautiful views out here. Aren't they just simply amazing? I love those views. I love this city. I love the planet. And as you know, my character basically has been sworn to protect both the city and the planet from all of those enemies, domestic and foreign, and alien. So we always stand here for a while, gather our thoughts, think of the loved ones, think of the places which we treasure the most, moments and people who are close to our heart, and then we get resilience and energy for our future battles. We have to survive, we have to come back to debrief on our mission, and indeed by doing so we are being internally strengthened. There we are, ready to commence with our first battle, which is going to be regicide. You guys ready? I certainly am. I'm itching for a few more of these firefights. It's been a very good lengthy day, and as you know, I'm no longer running our all-nighter sessions. I prefer daily streams, and you are going to be seeing many of those back again, our morning, afternoon and evening streams. At the moment I'm having a bit of a respite, so in the last couple of days we only had our evening stream, but that is to change, so bear with us. I have to be also recuperating and recovering sometimes if the sessions became very intense, and doing Apex for 2 weeks was very intense, and I did break my record, literally my streaming record or broadcasting record. I streamed Apex on 2 particular days for a continuous stream of 30 hours 45 minutes, and that was quite astonishing. I actually couldn't believe myself that I completed it. And you realise a couple of days later when I sort of double checked my stats, I thought, hang on a minute, 30 hours 45 minutes, that must be somebody else, can't be myself. And indeed, I didn't make a mistake, it was me, so it's good fun though. Time just flew by, didn't even realise. And therefore you realise with some guys that are playing Fortnite or playing other Battle Royale games, days and weeks can just go by without you noticing. They are so engaging, so immersive. And you know, PUBG and particularly Apex, they are your thinking man's games. They're not just about shooting up. And you know, it's all down to the tactics and strategy, so therefore you can be using your mind as well as your guns in order to go ahead. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. So we are going to be playing Apex next week again. Not maybe with the same degree of intensity, but you know, we are going to be there. I do want to get to the level 100 before we get to March, and that's basically the target, so it'll be probably the target for the next 5 to 6 days altogether. Alright, so up we go. Regicide. Seems like Regicide is here on the Dreadnought. Off we go.
All this was set in motion long ago. He calls out, and the darkness answers.
Okay. Creepy sidekick? Check. Roguish commander? Check. And then we have the Guardian, my greatest success story. I'd say we're ready to get this done.
Push back the dark. End it.
She's right, Guardian. There's no doubt in my mind this could possibly work. Now, get to that rupture.
Understood, sir. Over and out. Find Oryx. Who's firing? I am. I'm firing. Oh, I see, we need to go up there. Oh, this way in.
Okay, that's where the rupture should be.
Get it open. Once you're through, send your coordinates. We'll lock down your signal and deploy reinforcements.
Rupture can sense the soul you hold. You are Ascendant.
Time to go kill a king, eh, Guardian? Good luck.
We're going to have to finish this on our own.
Task is to find
Scans are
Oryx.
returning nothing.
Okay.
We're definitely somewhere, but no sign of Oryx. Well, now we know we have his attention. Hi, Oryx.
last hope of the light. You are not worthy to face me.
That was a mistake. And I used all of my
You are the last hope of the light. I have taken entire worlds. You are not worthy to face me.
He's evil.
Well, I guess we're worthy now.
Hold on a minute.
Come for me, warrior of light. I will finish what Crota began.
Ooh, doesn't look particularly good, does it? Incredible views. don't really have good weapons for him, really.
darkness is a gift. Then I will set you free. Sinners in creation.
My queen. You were right. The Guardian was the key. For the first time, the whispers are silent. It is done. I have accepted my fate. I will not fail.
This was the end of Taken King. Let's see what is ahead of us. Let's see what other missions we need to do. Another upgrade. Catapult. Right. We got that back, so that's pretty good. We didn't do any of these. Probably do this after entering some patrols. So let's see. We need to go back to the tower. By the looks of it. And then we'll have a short break. Hope you guys enjoy this massive battle. Oryx was at the end, I believe, tamed. And as you could see, Ares got her crystal, soul, or whatever that bit is called. Successful end to that massive DLC, which we played during the last few days. And what great, enjoyable DLC this was. It revolutionized Destiny 1 altogether. People loved it, and they still label it as the most important advancement of the game so far. Taken King DLC. there we are, dear friends. We are back to the tower, as you could see. Let's see what lies ahead.
Too heavy. Too heavy.
Ah, an honor.
Indeed, sir. I've got some interesting bits for you. Will you be able to provide us with some decoding, sir?
You always choose the strangest things. I promise you'll come back and tell me how this works for you.
Indeed I shall, sir. Let's have a look at the goodies first, sir. So we have 385, 385. Can dismantle this. And then we have 385, 390. What's this? Machine gun. It's also another machine gun. Rocket launcher. 385, 385.
Be safe.
Indeed, sir. I shall be back after another battle. Fear God, honor the king. As you can see, we don't have anyone else here to talk to. I was curious whether we need to speak to Amanda as well, because maybe we can get another ship. I don't know, we'll see.
How can I help you this morning? Whatever you need to continue the fight, Guardian.
Vanguard Quartermaster.
Quickly, Sister French.
And armory items have been recovered and restored. Thank
You want a ship?
I do.
Your ship today?
Looks like we will need to
Take
buy
care,
it.
Guardian.
I'm not really keen on that at the moment.
If I could, I would still be here.
Future War Cult. Let me just remind myself, what faction do I belong to?
A single light in an infinity of darkness. Like the last signal flare before the walls are overrun.
Future War Cult.
Not everyone can join us.
Around Jalal, your invoice is ready for pickup.
Some commanders of our file accordingly.
Guardian, do you want to see what they found?
Package for the speaker.
The Taken have crawled beneath the skin of our world. For the dead, for all those we've lost, thank you.
You have done well today. The dark heart of the dreadnought beats no more. So these are really not particularly good.
The Taken King defeated, but not destroyed. Stay wary.
Indeed, madam, I shall. Fear God, honor the king.
It is never.
So you could see Cade is the next person we need to speak to.
You look ready.
Yeah, what have you got for me? Another beastie in the dead book. Nice working with you, Guardian.
So we are getting some rewards from him as well.
You are my favorite. Shh. Don't tell anyone. I'll be right here. Don't feel bad for me. Go out there and
the people of the city
and
the vanguard of the towers.
Something meaningful
in your debt. As long as I am commander here, your deed today shall be remembered.
Prevent the Fallen from getting control of Rasputin's Warsat network in the Cosmodrome. Complete strike Fallen Saber. Make your way to the Cosmodrome. I'll have further instructions when you arrive. Steel yourself. It's a war zone out there. Indeed, sir. I shall follow your instructions.
Dismissed, Guardian.
Understood, sir. Fear God, honor the king. So Cosmodrome is the next thing, but we are not going to talk to them at the moment. We'll go and complete the strike.
Hi, Thane. If you're looking for Shax.
Oryx is gone, but his armies remain.
As you could see, we are watching the landscape in here. And now we are gathering our thoughts, remembering the loved ones, looking at our beloved city, and now we are going to orbit. We want to proceed with that strike. Cosmodrome, Old Russia, Earth, Fallen Saber, Old Russia on Earth, level 36 strike. Off we go. Doesn't look like anybody's doing strikes. People migrated to Destiny 2 and to Anthem, in fact.
Guardian, we've picked up a high-gain transmission. Origin point is somewhere along the coast, near the Cosmodrome.
That's Rasputin, the AI Warmind. If I'm understanding him correctly, it's a distress call. There are so few ballet fans left, Guardian. It'd be a shame to lose him.
High above, down to earth.
We can't afford another Omnigul situation. Get in there, assess the threat, and aid Rasputin. A threat to the Warmind is a threat to the city as well.
Understood, sir. We are going to destroy the enemy. Over and out.
Военный спутник запущен. Коды доступа внутри.
We have a war site incoming. Rasputin says it contains codes we'll need to gain access to his bunker. Sorry this is taking so long, but these sequences are incredibly complex. Plus, I'm actually not that great at math, so...
Военный спутник запущен. Коды доступа внутри.
Heads up. Rasputin's dropping a war sat in from orbit. It's got the codes we'll need to access his bunker. Sorry this is taking so long, but these sequences are incredibly complex. Plus, I'm actually not that great at math, so...
This weapon's too slow for them. I'll have to do the...
Военный спутник запущен. Коды доступа внутри.
We have a war site incoming. Rasputin says it contains codes we'll need to gain access to his bunker.
Stuck in here for a while, right?
Военный спутник запущен. Коды доступа внутри.
We have a war site incoming. Rasputin says it contains codes we'll need to gain access to his bunker.
I need to work on a strategy how to get rid of it.
Военный спутник запущен. Коды доступа внутри.
Heads up. Rasputin's dropping a war site in from orbit. It's got the codes we'll need to access his bunker. sorry this is taking so long, but these sequences are incredibly complex. Plus, I'm actually not that great at math, so...
I don't want it to be a long grind.
Военный спутник запущен. Коды доступа внутри.
We have a war site incoming. Rasputin says it contains codes we'll need to gain access to his bunker. Sorry, just a little longer. I think Rasputin's testing me.
Военный спутник запущен. Коды доступа внутри.
Rasputin's dropping a war sat from orbit. It contains codes we'll need to gain access to his bunker.
I'm a bit tired, so basically what we'll do is we'll do this mission tomorrow.
Военный спутник запущен. Коды доступа внутри.
And we'll obviously carry on with other missions. I'll probably try to bring in someone else in, because this is a strike and I prefer to do strikes with 2 or 3 people in it. So thanks very much for coming, and thanks for watching my channel. Thank you for joining us for our somewhat shorter Destiny broadcast tonight. As I said, we are obviously coming back to Destiny. We'll carry on our Destiny 1 broadcast on an everyday basis. And, you know, hope to see you all tomorrow when we come back with more adventures and battles ahead. So, on that note, I wish you all a very, very good night.